I didn't give my thoughts on Suicide Squad's new trailers. The movie's called The Suicide Squad, but it seems to be a sequel to the original Suicide Squad. By the way, release the Ayer cut, please. This time it's being directed by James Gunn, who is most famous for Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. And James Gunn's one of those guys who can really master the art of doing comedy and make it genuinely funny without it being cringe. You know, Joss Whedon, who's been getting a lot of shit lately since the Snyder Cut came out and they revealed how cringe the theatrical version was, is okay at it. But I think Joss Whedon's strengths with the Avengers, the original 2012 Avengers movies, that he was able to balance things out. You know, Joss Whedon probably couldn't do a movie like Guardians of the Galaxy, whereas Guardians of the Galaxy kind of felt like Marvel was growing up a bit. Even though it had what you would call immature humor in it, every character had his own way of being funny. And every character showed off his charisma through an acting perspective, like Dave Bautista, Bradley Cooper. Like, they all really showed their acting chops, you know. And I think with Suicide Squad, here we have one of Bautista's contemporaries, John Cena, being in this film. We have Idris Elba, who's always awesome. And we have, of course, the returning Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I'm wondering if this takes place after Birds of Prey or before. But probably after. Now, one thing I want to talk about here is that originally Idris Elba was supposed to be kind of replacing Will Smith as Deadshot, but instead he's going to be Bloodsport. Now, I really do hope they get Will Smith to come back, because that character in Suicide Squad 1 and his relationship with his daughter, I thought was really interesting. And Will Smith has tons of charisma, so I really hope they get him back, because seeing Deadshot and Will Smith and Idris Elba in the same movie for a third Suicide Squad film would be freaking great. John Cena's the Peacemaker, which is like the dick Captain America. Rick Flag is going to be in the film as well. And okay, here's what blows my mind. King Shark will be making his first appearance in a theatrical movie. Now, I don't know much about King Shark because, like I've said before, I'm not a DC expert. I'm learning about DC more so this year than I ever have in my entire life. But King Shark is voiced by Sylvester Stallone, a guy who James Gunn worked with in Guardians 2. And, dude, I can't believe it. That's awesome. Like, I can't even hate on that. Jay Courtney is back as Captain Boomerang, and Viola Davis is back as Amanda Waller. So, it's missing Will Smith, but that's okay because it looks to be a really fun movie. And this is kind of the stuff that DC wanted from Justice League. But even though I want, obviously, the Snyderverse to be restored, when you have different directors doing different things, playing to their strengths, I think that's the right way to go about it. That's something that Marvel and Kevin Feige figured out a long time ago. So, with Snyder's Justice League, you know, Snyder's really good at painting a picture. He's a really good director at visuals, without question. And he's really good at developing characters slowly, which is why his longer movies tend to be better than his shorter movies, because it gives him time to develop things slowly. He also is really good with music. He knows how to kind of pick the right composer for the right film and tell a story with music. And that's where I think Snyder's strengths are. He's not really too great at writing banter and interplay and comedy between characters. That is something James Gunn's pretty much the master of. So James Gunn was the perfect choice to direct Suicide Squad 2, even though I still want to see the David Ayer cut. Another one of James Gunn's boys, Michael Rooker. The Rook is in this movie, and he's playing Savant, the computer hacker. So that's cool. Polka Dot Man's in this movie. We're going to see a lot of, like, the DC... I don't want to say lesser tier, but they're not like on the level of like Darkseid or Joker. They're not like tippy top villains, but seeing them here is great. I think with James Gunn being there, it gives them a chance to really have a character like King Shark. Okay, so the reason why I want to bring up King Shark for a minute is because King Shark could be like Suicide Squad's version of Groot mixed with Drax, in that he's going to provide the visual comedy and the likable character, because King Shark, I think, is going to be the mascot of this movie. I think King Shark's going to be a huge hit. We're going to get more King Shark toys and plushies and things like that. I think that's like going to be the Groot of this movie. You know, I love what we saw in the trailer, for that character, and I can't wait till August 6th when the movie comes out, unless it gets postponed by Warner. This trailer really did remind me of the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, the original with that hooked on a feeling. Remember that? Like, it really had the same vibe, yo. So anyways, I will be watching this when it comes out. I look forward to watching it. I watch pretty much everything James Gunn puts out. So, and he is going back to Marvel to do Guardians 3. And he's doing that one Christmas special, I think. And I think he's going to be directing a scene in Thor 4. I think he has like one scene he's directing in there, or maybe he's a producer, but I know he's involved. But it's good to see him come over, and I wish he would do like Suicide Squad for DC and Guardians for Marvel, because I think he could be great as a balance for both companies. We'll see how that goes. Anyways, that's it for this for my thoughts on the trailer and on the movie coming out. We'll see in a few months how it does. We'll probably get another trailer at some point in the summer, probably like another trailer besides the ones we already got. I'm out. Talk to you soon.